Welcome.
Welcome.
Welcome to the Three Oak Podcast, where even the artists can be fans. AJ the Menace.
Shane M. Petty.
And today, I'm not sure what episode this is because I'm going to leave that out, but today we have Legion Films. Everybody breathe.
Yeah, you guys.
Should we breathe too?
Yeah, you have to say hello to the audience.
You could have, you could have breathed if you want to, but it's
already
okay.
breathing, I'm fat, you know.
But welcome. So I do want you guys to introduce yourselves. Legion Films is the entity, but specifically I have Pat to my left, and then I have Aiden, and then Brother Nick is here too.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, welcome to the podcast.
Good to be
This
here.
this
man,
is
we're
a
having
month
good
coming.
conversation even before the show. So.
Yeah,
Exactly.
We've been talking for like an hour now.
Yeah, this is.
Yeah.
Long story short, ladies and gentlemen, you're in for a good one.
Yeah.
You're in for a good
It's
one.
gonna be a lot of fun.
It's gonna be like a lot of film talk. a lot of
Yeah,
industry.
film talk.
Yeah.
A lot of horror talk, hopefully.
But a lot of horror
Horror
talk.
talk,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So we're just gonna start. I'm gonna start from the beginning, and then we'll move into the film and everything. So, how did you start? What made you want to do horror films in particular?
Horror
Oh
is
yeah, you can.
horror is the best genre there is. I'll argue with anybody on this, but horror, I find that horror is the only genre where the bad guy can win and the audience is okay with it.
Yeah.
I never
that's
thought
true.
of it that way. Yeah, that is very true.
Because rom-coms, superhero films, the good
have-
guy always wins.
Yeah, they have
You got to
to.
send the audience home happy. The demon wins in these horror films. The bad guy, the killer.
Yeah.
How many times have you seen Jason or Freddy or whoever else end up walking away?
Yeah, they never.
Completely fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the only genre where the bad guy can win, and there's so much creative juice in that. It's just
That's
a lot
true.
of fun to write. It's the only genre where I feel like you're not constricted to stereotypes, and there are some funny stereotypes with that genre.
Yeah,
Like the
But-
black man always dies.
Oh yeah.
You said it, not me.
That is true. I mean, every genre has their tropes, but if you try your best to like avoid them, if you know what the tropes are, you could easily avoid them and shit.
Yeah.
I don't know, we got to send it to you, but that makes me think of a video that he did one time
Me?
where you were in the bathtub. And you were acting, do you remember that?
What
It's like-
video is this?
Oh my
You're
God.
right. Oh my God.
It was like a horror
2017 or
comedy
something.
film, like spoof video almost. So
Yeah.
he had a flashlight
crazy.
in the bathtub and was recording himself. It was like acting like he was in a horror film, but he did
Sounds
it.
dangerous.
Oh, okay.
But,
Yeah.
but,
It was
but
a
he did
black
it in his
guy.
style, which is comedy.
Black,
Yeah.
Damn, I cannot remember what it was called, but it was like it was supposed to be a spoof on the black guy who dies all the time. So I went into a bathtub and I have a flashlight. I'm like,
Yeah.
I start talking to everybody. Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm the black guy in the horror movie that dies.
Oh my God, it's
I
so
said, Oh
funny.
my God, and I can't remember what I said, but it was like a comedy, spoof of that,
Yeah.
And I think I die at the end.
Yeah.
You just hear it off screen.
Obviously.
Yeah.
It's like black guy.
But it was just so funny. That just made me think of it. But you can go ahead.
I mean, horror is such a great genre. There's so many subgenres of horror. There's the paranormal. That's been the biggest boom of the 2000s. I think it started really with Paranormal Activity.
Yeah.
Blair Witch Project, I think, is the pioneer of
scared
that.
the
But
shit out of me.
it was amazing because I was actually talking to these two about it the other day, and what's funny about I heard, I don't know if this is true, I can't back it up, but I heard that the actors and the Blair Witch Project actually went into hiding for several months after that
wow,
film,
really?
I did not
after
know
that
that,
film
no.
came out to try to make it seem as if it were real. And apparently the family wasn't aware. The families of the actors weren't aware.
What?
Oh my God.
I did not
So
hear
they
that part.
really like dedicated themselves.
It was meant to really sell this idea of it's true.
Yeah.
What you're watching is real. It wasn't, but
Yeah, but my aunt-
but
My aunt
it
made me
pioneered
think it was-
everything.
Yeah, my aunt made me think it was real. So when I went to see it, 16 years old, I was just like, and the whole ending happens. I'm just like, oh my God.
with the nose and the
Everything.
snot and everything.
Yeah. But then I was just like, wait a minute, why would somebody's family post that and sell it in movies? It's like it didn't make sense. And then
But it made
the
so
actors-
much money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It made
felt
was
so
the first
much
of its
money.
kind. Yeah,
It felt real. Everybody was like attracted to it.
Yeah.
It was the realest thing that's ever been put out in cinemas.
Like a really
until it wasn't.
a documentary.
So and you were saying that was the film that really made you like, this is what I want to go into.
Oh no, not even remote. That's the film that really pioneered the 2000s.
Yeah, pretty
Got
much.
you.
I
Okay.
mean, but
That whole
I myself love a good 80s film. I love a good Nightmare on Elm Street film and a good
Yeah.
Friday the 13th film. But I am a 2000s baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love my own past couple of decades of films.
Yeah.
And it's something that I just feel this generation's weird. It's been first person point of view. A lot of scary
Yeah.
paranormal stuff, The Conjuring, Insidious. I
Oh,
could
true,
go on and on
true,
and on.
true.
It just seems like the past couple of decades have been just drowned out by these paranormal films, these ghostly films. When's the last slasher film you saw?
Oh
Yeah, you're right.
The
It's been
whole
a
genre
while.
died
It's been
out
a while.
little bit.
That was the early 2000s, the slasher films,
Slasher
kind of.
films.
With the saws and
that
stuff
was
like
yeah,
that.
I mean that's not even then's not really a slasher.
Oh, okay.
Those are torture porn. Those
Oh
are,
yeah. Like,
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
yeah,
Saw
I
was
mean,
like.
yeah, it's.
What was the other one that was kind of like Saw, like Hostel?
I
it was
honestly
Hostel,
the last slasher film I remember, and it was based off the 80 films, the
Yeah.
80s films, was Freddy vs. Jason.
Oh yeah. So that's
That was
early
04
2000. Yeah.
or 304, one of the two.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's the slasher films kind of made their way out of the 80s and 90s. We saw Chucky and you know, only film that I think reminisces of the 2000s that was back in the 70s and 80s, The Exorcist.
Oh.
The Exorcist.
Oh, that was
you know,
real.
Yeah.
But that was such a high-grossing movie on screen. It was such a popular movie.
Yeah.
You know.
My mom told me like when she went to see it, like people ran out of the theater and shit.
Are you
Oh yeah,
serious?
Yeah.
people threw up in the theater.
Yeah. Oh, threw up.
Yep.
Oh, shit. Yeah. People, because it's just like, and especially that was the first time that shit happened. you
Nothing
know, like,
has
yeah.
ever happened on screen to
Before,
that
like,
point in time.
before
Yep.
that.
So what's funny is that I don't do the horror film thing at all.
You don't watch any?
You know, it messes my dreams are way too real, man. I can't mix the two, man.
Do you have sleep paralysis?
Oh, I
Sleep,
do.
he does.
Oh.
I have.
I don't.
Do you have a
though.
story?
Yeah, and my
Couple.
boy over here does too. Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, I don't have sleep paralysis. My dreams, though, all of my dreams have real people, real situations. Like they're so real that when I watch horror films, it just juices my dreams up, and I can't handle that. And so
Juices
I can do
fun,
more.
though.
You say what?
That's the fun though.
Yeah.
That's too. No, I'm not.
The ones that like freak me out are the ones that say like either based on a true story or based on true events.
But like 95% of them are not based on a true
is
story.
that true? Because I would feel great.
They're not.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all a lie.
I'll tell you this:
Yeah,
it's a
but-
marketing gimmick. We actually considered the Jinx.
Yes.
I hope we talk about it later on.
No,
We
that's
will.
which is why we're here.
Yeah, right.
yeah,
Is
we
not based on a true story.
Okay.
But we talked about it at great length. We said, should we slap this marketing campaign on it and say, oh, should we say based on a true story? It's a marketing campaign.
Oh.
None of these. I mean, here's what I'll say.
yeah.
You know, it's almost like I kind of compare it to it's not real, but it is real. That's what it is. For example, a film that scared the shit out of me
Yeah.
was The Strangers. I don't know if you guys ever remember.
I remember when
I've
it
heard
came
about
out.
it.
Back in
though.
07, The Strangers.
I remember
They
when it came
recently
out.
Put out the second one.
The cover art. The
Yeah,
The
the
poster
guy in-
was
yep.
intense. Yeah.
So The Strangers was based on a true story.
Okay.
It wasn't though.
Yeah.
What all it was at some point in time before this film was released, somebody broke into a home and killed someone.
Okay.
And then they just
That
took it
they
from
just
there,
took that
pretty
and
much.
said based on a true story.
"Oh,
No.
literally one element of the movie.
One element of the film
Yeah,
was that
yeah.
somebody broke in and entered into someone's home and killed them, and that was the based on a true story.
And they
aspect.
just created the story around.
Putting based on a true story will really up the amount of people that go to see it.
Not anymore.
Oh, not
Okay,
anymore.
so
Just because
that's
it's
another
too
thing.
often
So it
now.
doesn't
It's,
work
it's
for
so
audiences
everybody
anymore?
knows it now. Back in the
Oh.
90s, that would work. In the
Shit,
80s,
I
that
didn't-
would
I
work.
didn't know that. 'cause
Got
I was
you.
just like, oh my god, that's The Conjuring. No.
Well, could you imagine them slapping based on a true story on the Chucky movies?
Oh shit.
Hell no. I'll be like, bro, stop.
They already
bro.
freaked me out. You know,
Yeah,
put
yeah,
based
but
on a true
Chucky
story.
messed me up, too,
movies.
yeah.
There's
you're
an
like, oh my
actual
God, I'm
good
never
guy
buying a
doll out
doll
there?
Again. Shit.
Yeah, Chucky was a little intense.
I thought they got really comedic towards the end.
Oh yeah.
It-
yeah,
it-
got
it turned into
tongue
a
in cheek.
Bride
comedy.
of Chucky and Seed of
Got a
Chucky, it
little
got really
tongue in
funny.
cheek.
You know, like even though I don't do the horror movies too often, I can do like suspense horror kind of,
Yeah.
and then I can also I like the old horror movies, like
Hitchcock.
yeah, stuff like one of my favorites is what's the one that Tarman was in, Rise of the Dead.
Oh, that's old.
Yeah. Oh, we're talking old because it's so old. It can't. I know it's not real. It's not
Yeah.
gonna scare. It's not gonna mess my dreams.
But back
up.
then, that was the scariest thing.
That was the scariest
Yeah, 'cause you
thing,
never
but
seen
I
it.
watched those for comedic relief.
That was
honestly,
zombies. That was
because there's
zombies.
just
It was-
because the special
Zombies,
effects were just so bad. It was just it's so funny at that
Remember
point.
in
You know
04
what I mean?
Zombies made like a huge comeback with
Yeah.
the remake of
Yeah.
you know.
But it's
Dawn of the-
amazing. It's
Dawn
amazing
of the
how
Dead.
these horror elements have changed through
That's true.
generations. You know, zombies, vampires, witches.
Vampires had their run.
They had their
Yeah.
run. I mean, Frankenstein. Oh, you know, that was the scariest thing out at that point in time.
Yeah.
Now, people are getting, you know, on camera visual effects. People got to get their head sawed off before anyone's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
You know,
That's true.
It's amazing visual effects, but it's amazing how insensitized we are as a people. That we now need to see that to become even remotely scared. of
That's
what we're
true.
seeing on
Well,
screen.
the internet. So I mean, we're watching the most scariest horrors that nobody would ever
internet,
see
the
ever their
scariest thing
entire
ever.
life.
Well, the dark
we could just
web.
open Instagram. Not even the dark web. We could see this on Facebook. You know, like just
Oh, like somebody
just like
shooting
crazy
somebody
video.
in the
Like
head.
Oh, man.
Facebook
Like
has
ISIS
some that
videos.
just
When ISIS was cutting people's heads off.
exactly that was on Facebook. Yeah, it's like
That
you didn't
is
even need to
insane.
access the dark web. It was in
Yeah, there was like a 5-month time period of
when
which Facebook let
was
every
just
video
wide
on.
open, and it was terrifying.
Yeah.
Now they lightly put the click this button for censored comment,
Sensitive content,
for
yeah.
sensitive content.
Yeah.
It still ain't stopping nothing.
Yeah,
you know
it's
what I mean?
not really
But
stopping
Kids,
anything.
yeah, I guess
I'm not old enough for this.
yeah, that one extra step, but
13 years old doesn't mean
Because I'm a
anything.
good boy.
it gets wide open. But did you always know that you wanted to do film and do a production company, pretty much? With Legion.
I mean, up until I was able to really put these thoughts together, I have loved film and production since I was in high school.
Gotcha.
I follow in my brother's footsteps. My brother did it in college, and I always looked up to my brother. My brother's always been a huge role model for me.
How much older is he?
He's 6 years older.
Okay,
he's,
so that's-
he's actually getting married in a couple of months.
Oh,
in
congratulations,
Charlotte.
man.
Yeah, him and I just saw him the other day.
Okay.
Actually, earlier today.
Oh, yeah.
we were attending a funeral service. But my brother's a huge role model for me. Him and I, grew up 5 feet apart. We were in the same room.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
yeah.
we
that's a different relationship. When you have
yeah,
the
no,
same
him
room,
and I bonded heavily, and he always was that male figure in my life that kind of kept me straight and narrow. So I love my brother to death.
Yeah.
I have always admired everything about him. Him and I used to fight a whole lot when we were younger, but we got
course.
older, and it was amazing how
Of
civil it was. I spent a weekend in Charlotte with him a couple of weekends ago, and him and I were actually jokingly talking about it. It was towards the end when I was about to leave. He was like, "You know how civil we've gotten? I wish we would just fight,
Yeah.
But
For old times' sake.
yeah, for old time's sake, just sock me in the jaw,
Yeah.
just one time.
Remember that?
Let me know.
Remember when I used to do that?
Let me know the love is real still.
But
Andrew,
and his name's Andrew, and he's always been an awesome.
Hey, shout out to Andrew. My name is Andrew too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
From one Andrew to
He's
another.
actually my brother.
Yeah. We're just trying to,
Hi.
we just, yeah,
Go ahead, hit us.
No, but Andrew's always been a big part of my life, and I've always wanted to fill in his shoes, and
that's
follow
exactly
him.
what he was doing all through college too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He actually ran the he was at UNC Charlotte.
Okay.
He ran the student media department over at Charlotte,
Dope.
essentially single-handedly. And I watched that, and I did that in high school. I emulated him all throughout high school, and I said I want to do that, but at high school, and I want to do that, but at a higher level. And my brother's been one of the many people in my life that has said, if you're gonna do it, be the best at it. Do what you do exactly what you want to do, but always cross your T's, dot your I's. Make sure you're safe. Make sure you know what you're doing. Make sure you're always protected. And him and I had a real heart-to-heart a weekend ago when I was in Charlotte.
Yeah.
And I would talk to me about Legion, and he said, "Well, where do you guys see yourself in the future?" And I told him, really, we're focused on July 14th and 15th.
Yeah.
That's when we shoot the Chinks.
The rollout.
Yeah, and I said I can't think much further than that, or I'll start getting distracted.
Okay.
And
Makes sense.
he really laid it out, and he said, "Dude, if you want this to go anywhere, you need to buckle down, and you need to, figure
Every
out-
step needs to be taken care of for the next 2 years, pretty
exactly.
much. Yeah, at a
He
time.
said, if you're not thinking ahead, what are you doing?
Yeah,
so
it's
my
true.
brother's always been that anchor. He's always been that one to keep me in line. He's always gotten me more than other people have ever gotten.
And where did he learn? I'm assuming he learned that from your father because you said
No.
Oh, okay. So
no,
'cause
no,
you're-
he's
'cause you're-
self-taught.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Andrew.
Because you said you're coming from a generation of business owners on top
business.
of that, right?
Yeah, no, my father and grandfather were retail.
Got
They did
you.
retail.
Okay.
My brother currently works for the YMCA. He's a marketing director for the YMCA, so nonprofit. Woo. But my brother was self-taught. He always enjoyed. When he was in high school, he wanted to work for ESPN.
Okay.
And that's kind of why he got into the student media in college. And I think eventually he realized maybe
It
not
wasn't for
me.
him, yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. All that the whole entire sports media side is
a little
kind of-
different.
It's a little
Yeah,
different.
yeah.
But Andrew loved what he did in college, and I saw it and I loved it, and I wanted to be my brother. I wanted to do what my brother did.
Yeah.
And just like anybody would look at someone and say, I want to be that. And as much as my brother and I would joke around, at the end of the day, he's my biggest role model.
Yeah.
And I look at myself and I say, how can I be that? The dude's 25. Him and his fiance bring in 6 figures together. They have a home. They have a bird now, Mojito. It's a parakeet. Right? Shout out to Mojito.
Shout out to Mojito.
But they're doing great. They both have successful careers. They're getting married at 25.
Yeah,
Love
that's
of their
good.
life. those two.
Kids coming in the next 2 years.
Yeah. Hopefully not.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to be an uncle.
Dude, being an uncle.
I've got to be a good example.
I'm an uncle now. Just you can always drop them back off. It's completely fine.
or never pick them up. Just, But
yeah,
Andrew's great. Emily's great. Emily's his fiance, and those two have been awesome. Those two are a great example of how you should do it.
Yeah.
And if I can be half of what he was,
It'd be perfect.
I'm good.
Damn, your brother really is like he's a reason. Like he's really your drive.
pretty much. Yeah.
So you were doing this all through high school as well. I remember you were telling me you kind of set up the whole media and everything.
Yeah, Rollsville was pretty was brand new. When I went.
You were the first year, like graduating.
No, 2016 was the first year, but I attended it its first year.
Got you.
So they had a freshman and a sophomore class.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So
Yeah,
I was a part
they
of
did
it.
Panther Creek the same way, so I
Yep.
know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you got to fill up the school somehow. But
Yeah.
I was a part of the freshman class of 2017.
Yeah.
But I got an opportunity to start the student media program. I went to the principal at the time and I said, "Hey," I laid it out, had a whole PowerPoint ready and everything.
Yeah.
I said, "Here's how we do it. Here's what we're gonna do. This is what my plan is." And they said, "No." So they looked at me right in the eye and said, "No, we're trying to focus on sports."
Oh.
I was like, oh, okay, cool, that's fine. So I said, screw that, I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I went and with one of those old Sony cameras, the handheld cameras,
Yeah.
I
Oh,
and
man,
3 other
yeah.
people started in the back of a classroom. We did our own news program.
Yeah.
And
That's ill.
Yeah, it was Ram Rewind, and it was because our mascot was the Ram.
Okay.
And we did it, and first year
popped.
it didn't pop at first.
Okay.
At first it was we did a lot of episodes where it was like whatever, and then our second year we went to TSA. And we won a national championship. We won a regional,
Wow.
then we went to state, and then we won a national. We went to nationals and won it. And I think those were held in Tennessee.
Where were you releasing them? In
YouTube,
high school?
YouTube.
YouTube, okay.
I don't know if
Okay.
any of them are still up though,
Got you, okay.
because they weren't on my account, and I don't know if they shut down the account because new administration came in my senior year.
Got you, okay.
Yeah, so they
okay.
and it's kind of funny. I'll get into that.
So,
in a second.
okay, go ahead, yeah.
But we went to nationals and we came back with this gigantic trophy, and we said, "Look at what we did." And they had to look at us and say,
And take you seriously.
"Yeah, doing a
Yeah.
lot better than the sports teams we tried to fund." And
Yep.
we ended up getting an $18,000 grant from Wake County.
What?
And we built our green room. We were a bunch of high school. I was a sophomore in high school.
Yeah.
We were building this green room. We had all this equipment, and but along with that, a lot of irresponsibility on my end and some other people's end. I didn't take high school seriously. I didn't take it seriously. I would go in and I would skip most of my classes.
Yeah.
I was going in and editing, and I was trying to, focus on, this new stuff. And,
Yeah.
I let my grades slip, I let my GPA slip, and my attendance suffered too. But, I graduated on time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3.0 GPA, not terrible.
Hey.
But some things I wish I did differently in high school, but I found my passion for it.
Yeah, I was about to say, but you didn't do anything wrong, in my opinion, because you already knew what you were. You
My
knew what you were
parents would
gonna do.
disagree, but whatever.
Oh no, I completely understand what you mean because I mean you had it figured out way before we did.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
you were leagues ahead of where we were at.
I
Like,
don't even think it was figured out. I don't think I had it figured out. I think it was just a kid.
if it wasn't figured out, you were damn sure were doing
I was
more
just,
than us.
Yeah, I was just a kid who's like, screw it, wing it. See what
Yeah.
comes out of it. I had no concept of how to form a production team, how to lead a production team.
Yeah.
I had no concept of how to fund anything or how to get people to follow behind something. A
True.
vision.
Which is a skill in its own.
It's a skill.
Yeah,
in
that
itself.
really is
I
a
had
skill
no
in its own.
concept. I was just an amateur.
So when did you think that you garnered that to even start like Legion Films? When did you start like
I
putting
can
that
give you an exact
whole-
date.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, let's go.
Yeah, July 17th of 2017.
Nice.
We
Damn.
filmed. Yeah.
So
it
you're
was-
coming up on a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost.
We were actually doing a film called Group Therapy, and I was back when I was with East Wake TV. I had an internship with East Wake TV.
Okay.
And I was working under them, and I went to them and said, hey, I have this film project that I want to do, and they were open about that. They said, yeah, that's awesome, that's great. We'll show you how to use the equipment. We'll show you how to use the editing software.
You probably knew how to do that already, though, didn't you?
I knew how to use some of Premiere.
Okay,
but I wasn't, fluent.
Yeah,
it was good to have that internship.
It was still opportunity to learn.
That internship was awesome. I got to work with a whole bunch of people, and essentially what happened was I had a cast and crew of about 18 people, and we were doing this film called Group Therapy, and I was so excited about it. We rented out a church. It was supposed to be like an AA meeting type setting.
Got you. Okay. People in a circle and all that.
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, and we got on set, and we know everything was all prepared, and we were looking ready to go, and I was so certain this was going to be a hit.
Yeah.
18 people counting on me. We get on set, and it flopped. Equipment started malfunctioning. It was 100 degrees, no fans. We were burning up inside. I had a panic attack on set.
Damn.
And it hit me. I said, I'm still an amateur. I don't have a damn clue what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I've got to now look at 18 people and say,
and look weak. Yeah.
we got to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was an eye-opening experience for me. I took 6 months off. A film. I didn't touch a film. I didn't write a screenplay. I didn't do anything with media.
Yeah.
I was barely on social media for 6 months during that time period. Yeah. I just broke away.
Dang.
I said, I need to get it together.
Yeah.
That was
never
tough.
have this happen again.
To look at almost 24 people and say, I failed. I failed you.
Yeah.
We had been working on this film for 3 months.
And then the time comes to do it, and all hell
fell
breaks
short.
loose.
Yeah. So
Sheesh.
so that experience kind of like taught you how to
that
maneuver
experience told me, if you're going to do this, you need to learn.
Okay.
You need to learn, and quickly. You need to learn this industry. You need to learn that these things are going to happen. You need to learn that you don't know everything. And that was a tough pill to swallow because, millennials and whatnot, everybody thinks they know everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I thought I went into that thing and I was like, I'm the shit. I know everything. I got 18 people, yada,
You
yada,
thought there was
yada.
no way you were going to fail.
No way.
Yeah.
No way. We were funded. We had everything behind us. We had studio quality equipment.
Yeah.
And it failed.
Damn.
The smallest things you cannot prepare for
That's true.
are the ones that killed us. And what that told me is, if you're going to continue to do this,
Have everything planned out from
you
start
need
to
to have a
finish.
plan A, B, C, D,
That's
E,
a
and
fact.
F.
That's a fact, yeah.
And,
I know exactly what you mean when you say that.
I took 6 months off because I lost confidence. I was depressed. I didn't know what I was doing. This is the one thing I've loved doing.
Yeah.
And I failed at it for the third time. This was not the first time I had failed. I had failed other productions too, but this one was the one.
It was the biggest one
Was
that
the
you
biggest
failed
one.
at.
to
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
It was like the big heist. This
Yeah,
was the
yeah.
one where everything was supposed to come together, and I failed. So I had to look at myself and say, "What am I doing?
Yeah.
Am I gonna get better, or am I gonna stay here at this level
and keep doing
and
these
keep
little
doing it?" Yeah, and then it was so serendipitous how Legion started. We weren't Legion for a while. We were just
a collective.
a collective.
Yeah.
And these two weren't involved till what? January?
Of this year?
February?
February.
Wow.
Of this year?
Yep.
Wow.
Early May.
Early. No, it was early.
No, April.
April.
I brought
These
him
two
on
are
in
relatively new additions.
Okay.
Wow.
No, I started with a guy named Ryan Pham.
Okay.
And
Yeah, Ryan, he just he just followed me on Instagram, so I know
Yeah.
exactly what you're talking about.
yeah, definitely. Ryan and I, it was actually totally serendipitous how it happened. I was working over at Mod Pizza part time, and there's a coworker of mine named Grandy, and Grandy is best friends with Ryan. I didn't know this. I just was having a conversation with Grandy when we were closing one night. I said, I used to do film, and I used to do all this, and yada, yada, yada. He was like, I actually have a friend named Ryan who wants to get into film. He said, you're a screenplay writer. You have previous experience in film. You know how to run a production, sort of. I mean, I wasn't.
You're more experienced than somebody with no
most people,
experience.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then he says he does cinematography and wants to get into the industry. I said, let me link you two up. That's what he said to me. He said, let me link you two up.
Yeah.
So him and I, of course, Ryan,
The power of the link.
power of the
Yeah.
link. But Ryan was hesitant at first. Ryan was like, I don't know anything about him.
Yeah.
So Ryan would, hit me with the read first, and then I would text him. He'd be like, hey man, I'm really serious about this. Give me a call. Give me a text. Let's do it. He gave me a text. We met up at a Starbucks, and we looked over the script, which was The Question.
Yeah.
That was our film that came out March 10th.
Okay.
And he looked over and said, I'm in.
Okay.
And from there on,
Y'all been working.
Yeah, Ryan isn't as involved as these two are. Ryan was kind of that founder, that early floater for us.
Yeah.
He does photography. He owns his own business and does all that. But you know, I knew that we had something special. And we weren't Legion yet. We didn't put a branding on it yet.
Yeah.
We got we started working on the film, and eventually she came on. I met her.
Yeah, but say, how did y'all meet?
I'll let her tell.
Yeah, and then let them know what you control, what you operate.
Yeah.
Well, I control the aesthetics teams. I actually came up with that name on my own randomly. But
The Legion? The Legion?
No, the
Oh, okay.
aesthetics team. Because we didn't have a
good.
name for it. It covers makeup, props, costume, set, and
Mechanics.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And hair.
Hair goes to makeup, but yeah. I actually met Pat downtown Wake Forest because a lot of the kids walk there after school from Wake Forest High.
Gotcha.
And my friend got me Cards Against Humanity, and we were all playing as a group.
Legendary game.
She stole it. She won't admit that, but she stole it.
It's okay.
She stole the cards of
But you know what though?
Humanity.
It's okay because that game is like the neighborhood bike.
The
You
company
kinda
was
just-
founded on a crime. That's what it was.
Yeah.
It really was.
That's
My friend stole Cards Against Humanity, and we brought it downtown. We were all playing. People kept on joining, and he just comes up to mostly high school girls. This dude who looks like he's 30. He's like, hey,
I'm 19.
Shots fired.
It's 19, by the way. It's not that bad. No.
No.
Just comes up and
We were a
like,
little
you mind if I
shaken.
play?
Yeah, he's just like, can I play with you guys? And we were like,
the worst thing
sure.
to
Yeah.
People kept
You mind if I
leaving.
play with you?
Can I come out to play? No, it's-
Did he arrive in a white van?
yeah. That's what I wanted.
Did I leave in one?
Yeah.
Oh no! But people kept leaving, and then he asked what we want to do. And I have an interest in a lot of art stuff. I do art. I do my own SFX makeup.
Okay.
But I didn't do much, so he asked to see my Instagram. My profile photo was SFX like claw marks on my face.
Okay,
Oh.
gotcha.
If I didn't have that, he probably wouldn't have asked about it because I never post
That-
any.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So originally, I was brought on for makeup to be
She was our makeup assistant.
low
She
level
grew
makeup
quickly.
artist,
Yeah.
and then after the question, I went straight to lead makeup artist.
Yeah.
And then now I'm a producer over all of aesthetics, basically, with my brother Nick.
Oh, y'all
Nice.
live I didn't know y'all were brother and sister.
Yeah.
I did
Oh,
not know
okay.
that.
Yeah.
Exclusive.
Well,
No,
I'll tell you, the story of why I was there is
Yeah.
kind of funny. Because we had just casted the question. And our lead actor, his name's Aaron Dunlap. I was literally in the car driving, and he texted me and he said, hey, Pat, I don't know if you found a spot for our production meeting, because I literally, like, the day before I had casted them
Yeah.
with other people. He said, I don't know if you found a spot for a production meeting, but there's this really cool place called Wake Forest Coffee Company in downtown Wake Forest.
Yeah.
And I was driving, and I had nothing else to do. I was off work that day, so I said, I'll go check it out.
Yeah.
I'll go check it out. So I go in and I check it out, and this is not the first day I met her. I met her like a week later, but this led me to meeting her.
Gotcha.
I went in, and this place is empty. I'm like, what the hell is this?
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
empty, but they have a second floor artist loft.
Yeah.
So, of course, I meet the barista. I think her name is Dominique or whatever it is. And she's like, hey, how are you doing? I'm like, hey, how are you?
Yeah.
And I was like, is there more to this? I just told her there was an artist loft. And she's like, yeah, upstairs. I go upstairs, and nobody else is in this building except me and Dominique as far as I'm concerned. I go upstairs, and I see a man, and he looks older, and he's painting a picture. And I find out after 2.5 hours of conversation with him, I said, hey, what's your name? And he says, my name is Richard Tardell. And Richard Tardell is a painter, and he's the former doctor. And
Oh, okay.
after 2.5 hours of talking to him, I mentioned early on in that conversation I do film, and he gave me his resume. It was laminated, and it had his face on it.
Wow.
He was an actor. Yeah, he's an actor.
Oh.
And I said, hey, I know we just met, and I know that I don't know a thing about you outside of what you've told me. Do you want to be an assistant producer with us? I brought him on. Best decision I ever made.
Damn.
Best decision I ever made. Richard he's actually in the Jinx.
Yeah, okay.
So you'll get to see him.
Alright,
He plays a role as Father Joseph in the film.
Okay, so he's the one on the
He's
cover.
not the one on the cover. That's Kyle Faulkner.
Got you. Okay.
But he definitely plays a role in the Jinx. He's also an executive producer for us. If you go to the management page, he's the older fellow with the white beard, and yeah, there
Right
it is.
here. Yep.
So
Richard Tardell.
he has been an awesome stable for us.
Yeah.
He's an actor's coach. He's got 40 years experience in film.
Okay.
Absolute
Wow.
gem.
That's
So
dope. Yeah, that's awesome.
and I go back, and I'm hoping I run into him again a week later, or so I go back to this coffee shop, which I, ambiguously stumbled upon the week prior.
Yeah.
I go in, it's packed, totally different from what it was the week earlier.
Yeah.
It's packed, and I see all these high schoolers. Apparently, high school just let out, yada yada yada. And I look over, and I'm just, I'm working on something with the film and of the question, and I look over and I see her and her 3 other friends, and they're playing Cards Against Humanity, and I'm like, what do I got to lose? I go over and I'm like, hey, you guys got room for one more? I sit down and everything she told you, and
That's
from
how
that
it
point,
started.
it's totally serendipitous. Like I never expected that I would meet these people, but the entire company is just built around unplanned experiences and unplanned meetings with people. And Richard, I met him through her.
Yeah.
So totally serendipitous on that. And if I never met her, I would have never met him. These two are my top producers. He's a minority owner of the company.
Nice.
And so is Richard. Richard's also minority. So these people are big parts of it that I met totally by accident. And it's amazing how life works,
So
right?
crazy, yeah. And then you put together a stat. So during that 6-month period when you had took that break and then decided to come back, did you start getting the business and putting the title and the name and the staff and everything together after that
when did
6
that
months?
start happening?
Yeah, when did that start happening?
Legion.
When you put everything together officially?
The Legion film story is kind of funny, but I wasn't thinking about any of that during the 6 months.
Okay.
The question, the one that I released March 10th, was actually a script I wrote 2 years ago.
Okay.
So it was something I had in my drive, just chilling.
Yeah.
So I wasn't actively writing anything. I wasn't actively trying to make anything. I wasn't actively trying to get back into the industry.
Yeah.
I just knew if I wanted to ever do this again, whenever ever was, I needed to learn. So I learned the horror genre. I knew that was my genre of choice. That's what I love to do.
Gotcha.
That's the only thing that I've ever really stuck with. And I said, I need to learn this industry. Not just the genre, but the industry of film. I need to learn positions. I need to learn how funding is given. I need to learn how you work with venture capitalists, how you learn with how you work with funding companies, distribution companies. I learned as much as I could in 6 months about how to run
a production
company.
Yeah.
And
shout out to the internet.
Yeah, right? Wikipedia.
Yeah.
But right? But I never knew that I would ever use that information. I had no timetable. I didn't know. I wasn't like, in December I'm going to need this.
Oh, okay. So
I
when
see
you were
what you're
researching that, it wasn't like you were planning.
Just for shits and giggles. I was like, I might as well just learn it.
And then everything started falling into place. And you're like, they got
Life took over, man.
Yeah,
Life took over. And the right people
Life
came into my. I met, if I was never working at Mod, I would have never met Grandy. I would have never met Ryan. Ryan and I started this thing. If I had never met Ryan, there'd be no Legion films. If I had never met them, there would be no The Jinx. Life has a funny way of putting you.
It does. It does. Yeah.
I've always lived by this motto, and it was something that my grandfather told me before he passed a couple of years ago. And the Jinx has a special meaning to my heart because of it. But my grandfather always told me, he said, the universe always tends to unfold exactly the way it should.
Yeah, every
and
time.
I live by that.
Yeah.
It's amazing how if you just do the right things, you do good things by good people, and you try to live a life where you give back, or you at least try to be nice to people.
Yeah.
It's amazing how life will put you in the right positions.
That's so true.
It's so weird, like just saying be nice. People call that corny and shit. But
Exactly,
it's just like, but
yeah.
that's actually the answer.
Yeah,
Just
that
be
really
nice,
is.
man.
It's the love thing, yeah.
We run a very progressive company. We embrace black excellence. We embrace women in film, LGBT. We celebrated our Women in Film campaign. We did a whole campaign about it for the month of May, in which we celebrated all of our women in film. It's all over Instagram if you want to go check that out.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
We did some LGBT work with some of our team members in June. It was Pride Month.
Yeah.
Black excellence. We love our team members of African American descent. And we love it.
Yeah.
We have writers, directors, producers that are African American.
Yeah. Okay, so then when did that whole thing start to expand? When Legion Films just went, okay, you start off with
When did the
4
staff come
people.
in? 'Cause
Yeah,
the
when did the writers and how did you?
I think the team really started to grow when we brought her on.
Oh, okay.
She does a
so
lot
you
of
found
our-
a lot of them.
I actually
lot of
brought on a
people?
lot of my friends. Yeah,
She's a lot of
wow.
I know a lot of creative people. All of my friends are creative,
We
really.
used to work in high school. We used to work in high school in like the theater, like the school
Technical
production.
theater.
Yeah.
I was
The stage plays and all that stuff. Yeah, yeah.
I was one of the head.
No, he's good.
I was one of the head carpenters for Lake Forest High School.
Okay.
So I knew people in the theater, in the booth. I know people within my department. I knew people and all, all
Got
around.
you. Okay, so you already had that network.
Exactly.
Got you.
And
yeah.
then from that, my teacher, my mentor, he brought us to people if we needed them. Said, hey, I'm bringing up this film company.
Yeah.
You have anybody I could talk to, advice, or anybody I could, and they would tell me. And like recently, we opened up our mechanics and robotics department.
Yeah.
I brought in 2 of my close friends, and they've been helping us build stuff for the film.
Wow.
And, just out of nowhere. So.
And you guys literally just joined in the end of April.
I joined in February.
Yeah, February
He
and
joined in
April.
April.
He joined the end of April.
Yeah.
Okay. This is so crazy. So, 2018, bro.
Yeah.
2018 is crazy.
One of the things that we really push for Legion, and it's something that we believe in. It's our why. I'm one of the main things that I believe in is not what you do, it's why you do it.
Exactly. Okay.
So we make horror films. That's our why. We love to make horror films, obviously. Our why is there's so much talent on the East Coast. Everybody thinks West Coast. We talked about that over. Yeah, we talked about that at length. And the West Coast, everyone, Hollywood, end all be all. You want to do anything? Go to New York. Go to Florida. Go to Hollywood.
Exactly. Yeah.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Atlanta is a growing market. Raleigh's a growing market.
Yeah. It is.
We're showing and we're proving. We're not just talking about it. We're proving that talent lies here on the East Coast.
Yeah.
And that there are other outlets too doing it. And I don't know where Legion will be in 5 to 10 years, but I know that at the current rate we're going to compete with the best of them.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I believe that too. Yeah.
So let's go ahead and jump into the reason why we even made this connection. We got the Jinx coming out.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
man.
do you want to tell people what the Jinx is? Tell us what the Jinx
it's about.
is.
The Jinx comes out August 19th. It's a short horror film.
Yeah.
We're working in production with Focus Media. Zach
Yeah.
Stamey is our DOP and director for this film.
Okay.
Great guy. Oh my God, I love Zach to death. Zach is such an awesome man with a lot of. He's so talented.
Yeah.
You're around someone that talented,
Yeah.
and you can't help but feel like what the hell am I doing here?
I know what
You
you
feel
mean.
small.
I know what you
so
mean, man.
talented, and he just knows. He knows exactly what he's doing. So I shout out to Zach because I love Zach and
He's sure all the time, right?
Oh,
he's always so sure.
He's so knowing and so sure of what he's doing. And
Yeah.
I've never met somebody who's that confident in what he
Yeah.
does. I try to say I'm confident. I try to put on that. At the end of the day, I have my moments where I got to be like, I don't really know.
Yeah.
And I'll
Well,
tell
they say
them,
get people who are pretty much better than you at what they do.
Oh, yeah.
You know? So,
But
Always
he
surround yourself
does
like
he
that.
does a lot of music videos and a lot of other. This is his actual first.
you know what? I
Film.
think I've heard his. I think I've maybe seen some
He's
of his
locally
stuff
based
before.
too, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Very popular.
What's
So
his
I know
name
the
again?
name sounds
Zach
familiar.
Stamey, Focus Media.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
it
no,
sounds
I
very
know
familiar.
exactly what we're talking about.
Yep.
Transitions, crazy,
Yep.
crazy.
Yep.
I knew it sounded familiar. Yeah.
Oh my God, I just followed him on Instagram
Focus
maybe
Media,
like
yeah.
a month and a half ago. His transitions are through the roof, bro.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
insane. I know exactly what you're
I think
talking
he won
about.
Indie Weekly Best videographer.
I am
for
not
2017.
surprised. I am not
Yeah,
surprised.
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome,
Okay.
awesome. And the state of North Carolina. Definitely an awesome guy. But the Jinx is a short horror film that is a bit of a passion project. It's one of these scripts I've had written for about 3-4 years now.
That you kept tweaking through the
It
years,
was my
kind
first
of.
production.
Ah,
The script was much different when I did it back in 2015. But
yeah.
Yeah.
it was the title, The Jinx, is my first production, and I obviously I was amateur. I didn't know what I was doing, and it failed. But I came back and I said, let's do it. Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
Let's put our money where our mouth is and do it. And August 19th it comes out. It's Kyle Faulkner, Richard Tardell, Ashley Levins. Those are Ashley's playing the creature that you'll get to see more of in the film.
Yeah.
Creature's been developed and designed and crafted originally. It's the whole entire outfit. And I can't even say it. You're gonna have to ask her because she's.
Levins actually does costume herself. She made the dress for
Okay.
the
The
Jinx,
actress?
demon. Yeah, she.
Wow.
She goes by
She does our
Levins.
costume as well.
Okay.
She goes by Levins. He keeps calling her Ashley.
Okay.
That's what her credit's gonna say, Ashley.
As far as I know, she actually came up with the Legion name as well.
Yeah, that's just
when they were
Oh.
released.
Oh.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that. Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
when that was, but she's doing the costumes, and actually somebody that Pat met when we were downtown as well, my friend Karen Robertson, is also coming on for costumes. Although originally she couldn't join. There's a mess of a story there.
Yeah,
But
But yeah,
we have a lot of people come on.
We've got about 2 to 3 people in each department, so we've got our 5 departments.
Gotcha.
In aesthetics, so aesthetics covers, like she said,
About
hair,
15
makeup.
people.
Yeah, about 15. But hair, makeup, prop set, mechanical, costume. So
Yeah.
I mean, we've got about 2 to 3 people that are dedicated just each department.
Yeah.
And she oversees it all.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
we're excited about the Jinx. It takes place in 1988, so it is a timed film. It's a film in a different era.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's a religious film. It's not really religious. It's got religious undertones.
Religious in it,
much
yeah.
like The Conjuring does.
Yeah.
Or Insidious, maybe for that matter. There are some religious undertones, and the main character, his name's Father Stewart. That's Kyle Faulkner. That's what he plays.
Yeah.
He is a recently ordained priest who is moving to a new town for more opportunities within a new parish. And essentially what he finds is that he didn't come alone. That's all I can say about that. He didn't come alone, and he finds himself and his faith at risk from what lies within the house. That's all I'll say right now, but just know there is something lurking. Yeah, we didn't give that
That's
much
the
away.
grabbing, but that's the grabbing line.
Exactly.
Right there.
There is something
It was the faith part that had me like, okay, now
there is something
we're talking
lurking.
about something.
There is something lurking in the shadows, and we're so excited about this. We're so excited about the film. It's going to be beautifully shot, beautifully set up. These two, he's our set director as well, so he's going to have that set looking nice and 80s-ish.
We're actually filming in our house.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, word. Okay, yeah.
So it's going to be a lot of fun, and we're excited about it. We have a rehearsal next Saturday, and then we have filming in 2 weeks. Back-to-back 14-hour film, and it should be fun.
Yeah, so like on one of those film dates is going to be on July 17th, right?
15th to 16th, 14th to 15th.
Okay, because you started last year on the 17th, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, July 17th.
I see what the connection.
Yeah, so I was going to say, wait,
Come
are
full
you going to
circle,
film on your, pretty much your...
on the start day.
Yeah, pretty much your anniversary.
That was totally unplanned. It wasn't planned.
Yeah, your whole... that is crazy. Yeah.
Just serendipitous.
Yeah.
Isn't that the story of our lives?
Yeah.
That is the word of the podcast on top of
Oh,
that.
shit, that's the name of the episode. Serendipity.
But, I mean, I would be remiss not to tell you about how Legion came.
Okay.
Yeah.
The story of that came.
We definitely want to hear that.
So Ashley Levins, or Levins as everybody else calls her. I just have this habit of calling her Ashley. Maybe it's because it bothers her. I don't know. Just
Hi, Ashley.
Ashley.
Hey, Ashley.
Ash. Just like
The whole crusade. Yeah,
But no, we were FaceTiming, and I told her, I said, hey, we need to think of a production company name. We need to think of something that's catchy, we need to think of something that's marketable, something that we can really plaster on all of our stuff and say, what is something that people will not only remember, but also is not taken. Also something that we can, trademark if need be. And we went through a whole bunch of different ideas, and I think her first couple ideas sounded more foreign than anything.
Okay.
I don't really remember them, but I just know it was like, we're not Polynesian. Like, I don't know what you're doing.
We do horror.
films.
We're not Bollywood. Like, we're
Yeah.
But she busted out. She's like, whoa, I got an idea. I'm like, what? And she's like, bear with me. Legion. I'm like, sounds taken. That's what I said. I was like, it sounds like it's taken.
Yeah.
And she was like, no, hold on 1 second. And she went on YouTube or whatever, Google or whatever it was.
Oh, to tell you what the word meant, I guess, pretty much.
Well, I knew what Legion meant. I knew what Legion.
Just to see if there was other countries.
Taken.
Oh, see if it was taken. Okay.
And it wasn't, which was, wow, shocker.
Air horns.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Amazing, right?
Yeah.
You can't edit that in there.
I could do it all.
But we were like, that's perfect. What can we develop our logo around? Her shirt.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hard.
That's dope.
It's got that gladiator feel.
Actually, I had an idea to do one with like makeup brushes crossed or like something for each.
For each department.
Yeah, we were gonna do
Oh,
like
that'd
a
be
hammer and whatever, a wrench for the mechanical.
Yeah.
So you're the one that you designed the logo?
He made
did.
it, but I came up with the idea.
I designed my logo
Shot
too.
me down at first, but he
yeah.
eventually did.
But as we're talking, Linus actually developed that poster. So we talked about Linus. You guys had Nance on.
Linus,
I can't
got
see
you.
it.
Linus and his camera.
Yeah.
Linus
And
did this
he
cover.
does the
Got you.
social media managing for Nance, and
Yes,
yeah,
shout out to
he developed
and
that. Yeah.
I was gonna ask you how you knew Nance, but you knew Nance through Linus, and Linus you guys knew through. How'd you meet Linus?
I met Linus through Ryan.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah, we met Rich through Zach through Kyle.
Okay.
So Focus Media. we
Bro,
met
the
through Kyle.
circles, the world is
So many
just.
connections.
I was just
so
telling him that
many
before
things.
you
world
got
is
here.
so
Scroll,
small.
yeah.
I was just
Yo,
like,
it's
it's
so-
crazy how
Literally, the guys
connected
that,
we are and shit.
when we first pulled up, everybody that you saw us with before, we just did their interview yesterday. We met the guy with the Yunsuke with the half blonde hair.
Yeah.
We met him through DM. He knows this guy who we met.
Oh, yeah.
That is Sloppy, Shampoo Sloppy.
Oh, I saw his interview.
Yeah, we
He's got a lot
met.
of cool tattoos.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
met him through a guy we used to rap with. But it's like after we talked for like an hour or two, it was like, bro, we know everybody. Like the fact that we didn't know each other, you know, like make that connection sooner is crazy.
Like
but
mutual.
It seems like everybody that comes here, it's like, wow,
It's a connection.
Everybody knows someone, right?
Yeah, and it's like I probably could have
good,
met
though.
you. We
Yeah,
just
that's
weren't
good.
in that same room at that one time. It's so
definitely.
crazy.
It's amazing how small Raleigh is when you get to
It
it.
really is, yeah. Even out in Wake Forest, which is like
Even smaller.
you would think is even crazier, but yeah, man. So you got the where's this short film going to be released at? So for the people that want to watch it,
YouTube.
YouTube. Okay,
It's gonna be free.
It's gonna be free.
No
Hey,
charge.
run them streams up, baby.
Yeah.
No
Did you say
charge.
that it was gonna release like on
August
YouTube in
19th.
August? Oh, okay. I
August
thought you said
19th.
October. Or
No, August 19th.
Okay, August 19th. Okay, cool.
So when
Okay.
you put this movie out, it's gonna be released on YouTube. But like, do you also enter this movie into film festivals and things of that nature?
We've got, I think, 10 festivals that we're going to enter.
Got you, because I know that's what he does. So I think you'll be doing the
did.
same thing. Okay,
Yeah, or,
Yeah.
we could always use a hand. You know? But yeah, no, it's these festivals are great. A lot of them are local. We're like I said, we're trying to. I don't want to say monopolize. That's not what we're trying to do. That's never our goal. But we
yeah,
want-
because that has a negative connotation. But
has
I
a
know,
negative connotation.
but you want to
We're
monopolize
trying-
in the positive way. I know exactly what you mean.
we want to bring
Everything
so many
together.
of these talented individuals from the East Coast
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
to us, and we feel we have a great message with our more progressive stance on things. We celebrate diversity,
Yeah.
and that's something that over the last 2 years, what every producer and their mother has been accused of sexual harassment.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I was about to say the whole Me Too.
That is
when
insane.
it comes to film, is
There's a lot of there's a lot of
a lot
underlying
of heat
racism
on film right now.
Yeah.
A lot of underlying racism, sexism,
Yeah.
bigotry, just underlining bigotry in film. We tout ourselves very openly as a more progressive group.
Yeah.
We accept our African American friends, our brothers, our our sisters, our LGBT friends, our women in film. We celebrate them.
Were your parents the same way? That's how you came up this way? More liberal side-ish?
My dad and stepmom are. My father and mother are more conservative.
Gotcha.
But I get it. It's healthy to have that, in my opinion.
Exactly. Yeah, you got to have both sides.
Perspective.
Two perspectives,
That's
yeah.
true,
And then you can make up your own.
You can see
Okay.
both sides and
Yeah,
then figure out
definitely.
which way you want to go with.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's ill. So, what was I about to say? Okay, yeah, I just want to give you guys like compliments and kudos right now.
Please don't.
This is out of control, bro.
I
Because you guys are 19,
Especially
you're
at your
17.
ages, like this is
How old is
great.
he? How old are you, Nick?
19.
19,
Oh,
bro.
19,
This is
yeah.
out of. I'm gonna tell you what I was. No, I don't want to tell you what I was
Yeah,
doing.
yeah. Let's not go into that.
Because the
What
people
were
that-
you doing at 19?
Yeah, it's not important. Trust me.
When I think about that shit, I'm like, shit, man.
yeah, like
Oh,
we
I
were.
know what I was doing. Masturbation. No,
Yeah, like
I was a masturbation. That's what
I was like, I was doing nothing.
Yeah.
I was doing nothing organized. Like, I didn't. I'm trying to think if I was even rapping yet. Like, I was rapping at 19 because I graduated high school at 17.
Yeah.
So by 18, 19, I was rapping. But I didn't even. I had Menace material, but I never had the logo. I didn't LLC nothing. You know what I mean? Like, I was just like moving with no plan, just doing things. Like, I can't believe you guys are like 19. You're under 20 years old
was-
and have this. You have a staff. You know what I mean? Like.
at 19.
That-
I
that's
wasn't
not a
even-
normal thing. Like, and it helps that you guys, like you said, you guys are coming from. Both of your families are business owners, right?
Yeah.
What
He
market?
does construction, actually.
Construction, so he
he
owns-
works around the country building dealerships, like car dealerships.
Got
Yeah.
you. Okay, so okay, damn, that's ill. So it's like,
So we grew up building things pretty much.
Yeah.
so
we got
which,
a lot of our skills from our dad.
which is why doing the costumes and all that
Yeah,
stuff,
you're
and
continuing to build
and
stuff.
Yeah.
set, and that.
Like I'm
got
building
you.
a deck right now with him, and then we're doing our
Yeah,
whole
we
bathroom
both.
upstairs. So
That's so crazy, yo. Yeah, I like, yo, kudos to y'all, yo. This
Yeah.
is crazy. Like,
I was gonna say, like at 19, like I
You're-
wasn't even doing film. I was like trying to do this rock band.
I can
thing.
tell you right now, I was having more fun doing nothing productive for my future
Yeah.
than like organizing and running a business.
Yeah.
Which, so yeah, y'all are good.
No,
man.
but that's why you guys are lucky to have that foundation of like getting your life in check and thinking about the
Exactly, yeah.
future and all
I
that
never
stuff.
planned on doing this originally.
Neither
Yeah.
of us did,
Yeah,
actually.
like
You mean specifically this?
like film
But-
at all?
Okay, okay, yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, not even that.
What about
like,
the ownership thing? Did you guys? There's no way you could work for somebody. Did you guys always see yourself as business owners?
Not at all. I
Really?
don't have that. I don't have that idea. I could always work for someone. I could always,
I'm
do
the
that.
opposite, yeah.
There are a lot of people. I feel like it's a generational thing. That sometimes, some people are like I could never work for someone. I love what I do.
I see what you're saying. So
it's
whether
not even
you're
like
hired
I
to
tried
do
be
it,
owner of this. It just
Yeah.
it happened.
I know what you mean.
And I've got 2 dozen people that look at me and say, "He's top guy."
Yeah.
And it's a weird feeling. It's a lot of pressure,
It
especially
is,
when
yeah.
they're much older than you.
Yeah.
But
Compose yourself like you've been doing it for 10 years. Though.
but I haven't.
Yeah, and
That's
but
the
it's-
one thing I've got to
It's all
remind
about
myself
faking it
is
till you
that-
make it too.
Yeah, I'm not an expert.
Yeah.
And I will never claim to be an expert.
Yeah,
even
you
when
have to
I've been
maintain
doing it.
the humbleness
Oh, yeah.
of it,
Exactly.
in
Oh,
order
yeah.
to get, work with people.
That's
and
the only way you
all
get
that stuff.
respect.
Yeah.
Is you got to show respect, and that's a big part of what we do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Like originally for me, I was planning on joining, eventually joining NASA. Right? I was. planning on
Oh wow,
becoming
so
a-
those are your dreams.
I was
Okay.
eventually, I was planning on becoming an engineer and working my way up through college, doing math, working my way
Yeah.
up, and eventually that fell through, and I was like, eh.
How does
Kind
that
of trying
fall
to find
through
myself.
before you
Yeah.
get on? Explain
It was
to me-
gravity.
Explain,
I fell through the floor.
explain to me how a
miscalculated.
NASA situation falls
I don't
through.
know. When I got into college, I was.
Where'd you go?
I go to Wake Tech right now.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah,
You
we
go to
just-
Wake Tech too right now?
Nice.
Shout out
I
Wake
was-
Tech alumni in the building. Yo, Wake Tech, I'm trying to represent for y'all. Yo, I'm about to just start buying mad apparel. I'm Wake Teching down. Like, Wake Tech. Yeah,
Wake Tech.
Wake Tech, Menace Material. We could do collaborations.
They're so
yeah.
woke tech.
Yeah. We'll do concerts, and then he'll run a film festival out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny. No,
Yeah.
but I just got, I don't know, I got a lot less motivated to do
As
that.
you're in Wake Tech, yeah.
and then eventually I was like, all right, well, what do I have interest in? And then I was thinking about the police, and then eventually I got a postcard for the Coast Guard. Right?
Oh
And then
yeah,
rhymes.
we all
Yeah.
yeah.
Postcard for the Coast
So
Guard.
he's a rapper too.
Yeah,
Okay.
he got bars too.
Yeah, but
Yeah, we all get those.
rapper in the
yeah. That's my other career.
Rapper on the
No,
resume.
But, it came in. I was like, I'd really be interested in doing that because we grew up in South Florida. That's a
Gotcha.
really big promotion in Florida.
Yeah, of
Coast
course.
Guard.
When'd y'all come up here? If y'all were from South Florida.
6 years ago, we
Five
came.
years ago.
It was
5
6
years
years
ago.
ago now. Summer?
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
6
now?
years ago.
Oh, summer, yeah,
okay,
yeah.
yeah.
Got you.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, we came up here. Our family has been in Florida their whole lives.
Okay.
Our dad's from England. Our mom was born in Florida.
Oh.
We came up here, and then, like I said, Coast Guard.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still planning on doing that one day, even if this does take off. I've told them.
Yeah.
But, I could be 27, 28. And then I'll go
It's like I'm leaving.
Easily, yeah. You got plenty of time, yeah.
It sucks for you.
No, but I told him, I'm like, I want to do it for me. Like, it's a life
It will
experience I
feel
wanna
good
have
to you,
right?
yeah.
And so even if this does take off, I don't plan on leaving the company, but I will take a break to do that. Plus, Coast Guard stays in country for the most part.
Exactly,
So,
yeah.
I'm
You're not getting
too far
deployed
away.
Yeah.
overseas,
I'm not
exactly.
like, see you later.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Japan.
Like just come to Florida. We can see each other. Yeah.
Exactly,
Yeah.
So, but yeah, then this whole thing happened. They came up and you're like, hey, you want to join? And I was like,
Yeah.
sure.
Why not? Yeah.
Yeah. That's
so now
cool.
we're doing this, and this film will hopefully take off. Hopefully, Paramount
Hopefully, yeah.
comes over and is like, hey guys, this is good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then we take off from there.
So what were your goals and aspirations and things?
I kept changing everywhere, anything including with art. But right before I was brought in on this, I kind of wanted to be either like animator or game designer,
Okay.
something along those lines.
Yeah.
Which we both kind of talked about because we both have an interest in games. I'll make them, he plays them.
Oh,
but
okay.
Oh, we're talking app games or
No,
straight
no,
game?
no, like-
Straight up, like
straight up
Xbox
Yeah.
One.
Yeah.
Console.
So you're creative. You've done that more than once.
make
Created a whole game.
No, I'm.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in the works. I've
His best
taken
friends
like
make games.
bunch.
Oh.
Yeah, they're making a game right now. I've
Nice.
got ideas like come.
Shape
I
Wars,
can't
by the
sleep.
way.
Oh, God.
Plug.
Shape Wars.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't sleep with how many ideas I've got. I create in
Sheesh.
every aspect. Like I said, the makeup, props, painting, games, animating. I've done it since I was little.
Yeah.
I've never changed from being creative. I'd always want to do something in art. And
That's
now that I'm
cool.
in this, I have a lot of different ways that outlets I can go through.
And that's one of the cool things about Legion, and it's something that we pride ourselves on, is that we not only offer opportunity, we offer passion. You know?
Yeah.
These two have become massively passionate in what we're doing. You know, I don't want to be the guy who talks about Legion negatively around these two, because these two are more dangerous than me.
More than he does.
I'm a bitch. Like, I should be real. Talk about Legion. Well, everyone's entitled to their opinion.
Can you repeat that question?
I am a wimp, though, because someone, but these two, like, it's amazing how passionate they are.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how passionate the other 22 members are, you know?
Yeah.
It's just passion, and it starts from the top down.
Yeah.
And I'd like to believe that maybe from conversations I've had with people, or maybe the way that I've, brought this group to them,
Yeah.
that gives them the incentive to be passionate.
Yeah, they
It
feel
says-
like they can express that around you because
exactly. And
you've
it makes them
expressed
feel
it.
like this is legitimate and something they could really put their eggs into.
Yeah.
But it's been the biggest difference is that it's not just me being passionate with
It's
a
the
bunch
whole
of other
team.
people that aren't passionate.
Yeah.
It's a group of passionate people, and
That's
that's
so dope.
dangerous.
And that's it's dangerous in a positive way.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
We're
it's-
dangerous.
Yeah.
Watch out, world.
Dun-dun.
We're
You know
coming
what?
for
That
you.
was one of my favorite movies. I don't know why.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
West Side Story
Yeah.
was one of my favorite
Just
movies.
the snaps in the
It was just so because it was just like I don't know why. I just love that movie.
The
Just
snapping was the most gangster thing you ever
It
seen.
was, yeah, because they were really supposed to be gangsters.
And
And
then
I was
I was
like,
what the f-
I'm like, man, I've never seen gangsters act
Maybe
like
in the
this,
60s
but
it
I'm
was just like,
into
oh
it.
my god, these guys are so tough.
Snapping, like,
Yeah.
Whoa, watch out, dude. He's snapping.
We can do that?
Sharks versus
In
the
movies?
Jets, man, classic.
Yeah.
Damn, what was I about to say?
Yeah.
Oh, I had a question. So, like, when it comes to school, like, what are you even in school for? Like, you did a lot of research, like self-research, from what you sounded like before. But like, what do you go to school for? Like,
So I'm doing Wake Tech right now. I'm just taking some general education classes,
Okay.
and then the plan, likelihood plan, is I'm going to transfer over to UNC Charlotte and get my marketing degree.
got you. Okay.
Mama didn't raise no idiot, so I'm going to
Yeah.
go get my degree and
Yeah.
be safe. You know,
Exactly,
Just to
yeah.
have something to fall back on. But
Gotcha.
At the end of the day, I'm in a bit of a weird position. You know, because I maybe this team could run without me very well, probably could, but I'm at a
Planning to
position.
overthrow
You know,
Pat.
I'm at a position. Say what?
Planning to overthrow Pat, maybe.
Maybe. You've talked about it twice in 1 week now.
I'm ready to
As far as you know.
I need a Kingsguard around me to protect me.
But, I've got ownership.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, honestly, it's a scenario where it's, I might go to Charlotte and pursue a marketing degree. Do I leave the company? Do I, do we run it from a long distance?
Yeah, do you hand it over? Or so yeah, what do you do with the company?
I don't want to leave, and I have no plans to leave. If I have to run it from 2.5 hours away, I'll come
You
down
could do
every
that.
other weekend if I got to.
Yeah, I feel you.
I'll do what we got to do to make it happen. We got people that live in Greenville. We got people that live in Chapel Hill. We got people
Nice.
that live in Cary, Clayton, and all around the area
Yeah.
that come to Wake Forest.
Yeah.
That's our meeting area.
Yeah.
We all meet in Wake Forest. So
Shout out to Wake Forest.
Yeah,
man.
Wake Forest,
For just
yeah.
being there, man.
just being there.
Always
Thanks
being there
for being
for
a
us.
landmark.
Because you know what's crazy? I didn't know really anything that Wake Forest was doing at all on any level until I met
Great
Nance.
area.
Yeah.
And it's
Wake
just
Forest
like,
Coffee Company,
yeah.
there's
Now that I
Black and
met
White
him, it's
Coffee.
like these things keep coming up, and like they normally refer to Nance because they've seen Nance on our podcast, and then they'll be like, "Yeah, we do this, and we're from Wake Forest." I'm like, "What? Wake Forest has this many people like
Yeah.
doing creative
now.
things?" Like it just kind of took me by surprise. I had no idea.
We shoot exclusively in Wake Forest.
Okay.
Wake
Which-
Forest,
Yep.
and we need a key to the city. Wake Forest.
Big part.
I'd like one.
Yeah.
Get me one.
Raleigh needs to hand me that too.
Like, Mesh, just because all the people moving in, it's a big boom town. If you say like a modern day boom town,
That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
Like almost our entire neighborhood is people who weren't raised here.
Yeah.
Oh,
our entire
true,
schools,
true.
Like
That's
almost
true.
half the school were people who came from across the country.
Or maybe even
the
people that came
minority
from
is
Raleigh, too.
natives.
Yeah.
So it's strange. So that might be why all this creativity is. all
Oh,
these
that
people
makes
from across
complete.
the
I see what you're
country,
saying. Yeah, there's no like natives. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
everybody's
Nance
got
is a native,
everybody's
though.
got a different
Yeah.
way of thinking coming around from the country, so they put it together and they can see what you can do.
That's true. Yeah, that is a nice like melting pot. Yeah, that makes complete
There you
sense.
go. That's the word.
It's pretty amazing how supportive Wake Forest has been of us, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've noticed that too. Wake Forest supports their own.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and everybody it just feels like wherever I go in Wake Forest, someone's asking me or someone else about what we are. Legion Films, they've heard about us. They don't really know exactly what we are because we're not that big, but they know of us.
They know something about
It's
the
a
name.
small enough
yeah, yeah.
populace where you can
Yeah.
you can look at it and say, oh well, at least we've heard about you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's Shorties. They're a hot dog company in Wake
God,
Forest.
I love Shorties.
I love Shorties. They're so it's like a 50 diner. It's amazing.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
that's-
they-
So when you said shorties, I thought you were like they're shorties.
I was at my short.
like hot chicks and shit.
Yeah, like he's like,
Man,
oh,
left
that's
the
a lot of
podcast.
shorties
out there,
Yeah, I
man.
thought he was like, we got women, we got food,
shorties, we
got
got-
coffee.
Yeah.
Come to Wake Forest. Yeah. I was about to say
Shorties
he's
shaking their
promoting
ass
for
over
real
here.
right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
To sell his house. To go
I
to
got
Wake
you.
Forest.
I was like, I might need to relocate. Yeah.
But it's great. They got a bunch of small business. It's a boom of, and he said boom, but it really is a boom of small businesses. It's a boom of small groups, and I find that quality is in the smaller groups, the smaller
Yeah,
town.
there's nothing like a small business. I love
There's
it.
just some stupid Domino's just in the middle of Wake Forest.
Really?
Yeah.
A Domino's pizza beside a Wake Forest coffee company.
But you know who's gonna put him out of
Shorty's.
business though? Johnny.
Oh,
When Johnny gets out to Wake Forest.
I've
Is
heard
he
about
gonna-
that, yeah.
Yep, Johnny's going out there. He's gonna slow that Domino's pizza up. I'm sure.
Probably.
Crap.
Yeah.
Yep,
I
probably.
got a new plaza opening actually with a bunch of new restaurants. You know.
Yeah.
Right by Target actually, Target and Home Depot. Just like a whole plaza, of new stuff. Never heard of it.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
So what was the date again? Give that date out.
August 19th.
August 19th, The Jinx come out. Production company Legion Films. Thank you, Pat, for stopping by. Did you have any more questions?
Yeah, yeah.
before?
By the way, is it gonna be
Yeah.
like a trailer or anything, or?
Probably not.
Okay.
Just because of how short. I mean, it's gonna be 15 to 20 minutes.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay.
Trailer will be like, we don't want to give too much away.
Yeah, I feel you.
But maybe, maybe not. I can't
Okay.
confirm nor deny.
Not exactly sure.
We're prioritizing this film, so I mean,
If it does come out, just send us the files. We'll put it on the story.
of course,
Yeah.
of course,
Yeah, most
absolutely.
definitely.
Yeah, no problem.
But yeah, man, thank y'all for coming by Legion
Yeah, for
Films.
sure.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
man.
thank y'all. We're gonna do this again after. We'll do it for 6 months from now. We pretty much do checkups on
Yeah,
people.
we had
in
some
6
people
I was
that we
gonna say,
interviewed twice.
We're
do
kind of
we-
like
yeah.
we're kind of like the dentist office.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Come by.
I
You need to
love
check up every
around
once in a
two.
while.
Yeah, we.
How are you
yeah.
doing? Open up. No.
Yeah, we kind of do every 6 months. Come by, get your cleaning. You know,
Yeah, man.
It's one of
I
those
love it.
situations.
I
Yeah,
love it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a soul thing.
Matter of fact, give everybody your ads, your Instagram ads.
Yeah.
And
Our Instagram
everything.
at okay, we're at Legion Horror Films on Instagram. We're not really on Twitter, but Instagram has got all of our behind the scenes stuff. Any information regarding new or old films, you're gonna find there on our Instagram. Our website is www.legionfilmshorror.com. That's all I got. As far
All
as
right.
social
Hey,
media and website.
and we'll see y'all. The movie's coming out soon, and peace. We'll see y'all next week.
Appreciate it.